Jai Hind, this is Brigadier Hemant Mahajan. Today we come here to pay a tribute to General Bipin Rawat, earlier Chief of Army Staff, present Chief of Defence Staff, who was martyred in an helicopter crash. Very briefly, I will talk about the helicopter crash. He was flying from Coimbatore to Staff College, Wellington, where en route his helicopter met with an accident. There are 4 or 5 reasons as to why a helicopter can meet with an accident. An inquiry is on, and we will come to know as to what exactly caused the helicopter crash. It could be because of pilot error, it could be because of weather change, it could be because of mechanical failure, and it could also be because of environmental aspects like wind, fog, etc. Exact reason we'll come to know. The black box has been recovered. I'm sure we'll find out. But another angle which needs to be considered is the sabotage. We have enemies like China and Pakistan who are known to carry out sabotage activities. So even this angle will be kept in mind by the investigative agencies, and I'm sure we will take appropriate action against anybody, any nation like China and Pakistan, should they have contributed to this particular accident. But I think today it's a very solemn day. But he is being given a salute, and he is being honored in Staff College, Wellington, where he's been placed there. Him and his all other colleagues who were there, including his wife Madhulika Rawat. And tomorrow his body will come to Delhi, and then the nation will pay homage, and the cremation will be done thereafter. But this is the time now to carry out an analysis of how General Bipin Rawat contributed to India's national security over 4 decades. His father was also in the army, who was a lieutenant general, and he had also taken part in the 71 war. Number of relations from the Rawat family have also been in the army. Not only that, General Bipin Rawat joined National Defence Academy in 1974. In 1978, he passed out from Indian Military Academy as a commissioned officer, and mind you, he was awarded the Sword of Honor. Sword of Honor is awarded to the best all-round cadet. Obviously, he was a very, very competent cadet, no doubt about it. He joined his father's own regiment, and thereafter he's done a large number of courses or exams which Army has. The Staff College, where he was sent to USA for doing Staff College, which he topped. Then he's done the Higher Command course, the NDC. All courses he did very well. He was an intellectual par excellence. He commanded all the formations over a period of 40 years in very difficult areas, on Indo-China border, on Indo-Pakistan border, on LAC, on LOC, in insurgency-prone areas of Northeast, in terrorist-prone area of Jammu and Kashmir. Commanded a battalion against China on the LAC, a brigade in Kashmir Valley, a division in Northeast, a corps in the Northeast, command thereafter. Mind you, when a surgical strike was carried out against the Naga and the Manipuri insurgent camps in Myanmar called as Operation Sunrise, not too well covered by the media, he was the one who planned it. The surgical strike which took place after the Uri incidents in Pakistan, he was the Chief of Army Staff Brigade, some of whom who are active even today also. Some of them are rejoicing in his death. He did not accept any nonsense from them, and he stood his ground firm. So all those people who keep on talking, he was able to neutralize them by activities. He did not get involved into unnecessary debates to keep the country secure. It was done under his leadership. We must salute this outstanding general. Not only that, nearly after 70 years, the country decided that there's a time that we should unite our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, and fight a joint battle. One would remember the advantage of jointness in 1971 under a charismatic leader, Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw. Everybody fought together and we achieved tremendous results. This was outstanding personality called Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw. But we require institutional reforms, and that is what exactly Theatre Command is all about. Now we are creating theatre commands, land-based command against China, land-based command against Pakistan, a peninsular command, a space command, a maritime command, where everybody will come together and fight. Now, not only fighting, but today we are facing what is called as the hybrid war, what is called as the unrestricted war, what is called as the gray zone warfare. Now, this requires fighting not only during the war time, but during warlike situation time, during no war, no peace, during present times. It's a multi-domain war which China and our enemies are fighting against us. So therefore, fighting together is the need of the hour. This will ensure that our budget is utilized properly. The training will be joint in nature. Procurement of arms, ammunition, weapons, whichever is common, will be done together. Training establishments will be reduced. So we will be able to utilize our budget in a very appropriate manner, thereby increasing our defense capability. He has contributed tremendously to modernization of the armed forces. He's put a lot of focus on Atmanirbhar Bharat. At one point of time, the armed forces wanted to function with only imported equipment, but it was realized that wars cannot be fought on imported equipment. We need to be self-sufficient or Atmanirbhar in all the important weapon systems. That is exactly what Atmanirbhar Bharat, as far as the Ministry of Defense is concerned. His contribution in this field was immense. We have to have faith in our system, faith in our weapons, though they may not be, some of them may not be as good as they should be. But the fact remains that they can be improved over a period of time. So therefore, that was his contribution to Atmanirbhar Bharat. He also ensured that high-end technology was inducted in the army, especially Space Command. He talked about disruptive technologies which China uses, like artificial intelligence, drones, autonomous vehicles, oblique vessels, quantum computing, hypersonic weapons, etc. And India is progressing in these fields also. He talked about biological warfare which China had launched against India. Everybody knows China has launched a biological warfare not only against India but against the whole world, and the whole world is suffered in the hands of Chinese, but nobody is willing to talk about it because everybody is scared of the economic might of the Chinese. General Rawat very fearlessly spoke against what China has done. So General this kind of a tough talk, this kind of a forthright talk is required. At times, you may end up in trying to create a few enemies for you, and these are the enemies of the Human Rights Activist Brigade, etc., who talk a lot of nonsense. They do nothing for the country except tweeting and putting something on the social media and cursing the country, wanting the country to fail in every field. But it is people like General Rawat or our soldiers who keep the country secure. He did not bother about them. He went on his path with only one mission, to keep India secure. And this is exactly what he did over a period of 40 years. And we must pay our tribute to this very fine soldier which Indian Army produced. His departure is premature. His work of theatre commands and jointness is still to be done completely. And I'm sure that the next Chief of Defence Staff will look into it and will follow a path of what General Rawat, the kind of a work of Department of Military Affairs, etc., which General Rawat laid down, that will be followed, and we will reach the jointness level in a short while. Today is also a time to remember his contribution, immense contribution over a period of 4 years. We also salute his wife, who did a lot of activities for the ladies' welfare in the army and the armed forces, and of course the other soldiers who were with him during this flight. India has lost a very brave soldier. The loss is immense, but Indian Army has the capability of rising to the occasion and still carrying on with the work that is ahead, that is meeting challenges by China and Pakistan of grey zone warfare, of unrestricted warfare, of hybrid warfare, of multi-domain warfare. And this is exactly what General Rawat tried to do, and I'm sure this is what will happen in the days to come. We once again pay tribute to him. Tomorrow his last rites will be done in Delhi. Again, nation will honor him. So we wish that his all the soldiers who were martyred in this particular accident, उनके लिए Om Shanti, etc. And also we pay homage to all of them, and we wish offer our condolences to the bereaved families and hope that the God will give them strength to bear this loss with fortitude. Jai Hind.